Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to Ian's Adventures once again in the great outdoors. Please remember to like, share and subscribe. Enjoy the video. Well, I'm off on an adventure. Now if you want to take the time to grab yourself a cup of coffee, find yourself a nice comfortable seat and come along for the journey. Can I say thank you very much to the people who've put kind comments on. I think I've had one almost negative comment so far, but into thousands of videos now. That's really nice. Not because I'm monetizing them, because I don't, simply because it lets me know that I'm reaching people. I'll be doing a shout out to some people later and talking a little bit about their channel and what they do maybe. Let's have a quick look at the setup. Yeah, that's an axe, and I got my dangler on there, so hopefully we'll be playing around with some wood at some point. And I brought Gandalf with me this time. Right, sit down, make yourself comfortable. At the moment we're at Padley Gorge in Derbyshire, a well-known beauty spot. We're going to be heading off down to Lawrenceford, finding a bit of woodland. I'm going to be spending an evening there. See you in a minute, bye for now. Okay, so we'll get part of the way down on Padley Gorge. The stream's over there. It splits. You can either go left and head off down the hill, or we can head off towards Surprise View and Bald Hill Quarry. Up this way, and that's where we're going to go, because we want to be on that rock face. So that's where we're off to. Over the top of that hill up there is like an open moorland area full of boulders, like a boulder field. But what an amazing place. That'll come in handy. Bit of kindling, wood, trim that back nicely. That'll put you on for a fair old time. Okay, so once we've been going a while, the path crosses through a wall and we come to what I call Baybridge Quarry. Beautiful little spot for picnics, taking family. We supply a deadfall. Sadly, some have taken advantage and have left a mess. Now, this could be used for families to come and have a fire at night, etc. But to me, you make sure that when you leave, you don't leave the signs of a fire, because it does look lovely as it is. So nobody really wants to see a great big pile of burnt wood in the middle of it. Everybody to their own. Maybe some people disagree with me on that one. I don't know. I can see at the top of the hill up there, there's a cave. It's only small, but it's there. Just up there. But I'll not be stopping here. It's slightly frowned upon to camp on this particular area. There's a lovely little ledge up there I could camp on. Look at this. To me, not necessary, but everybody to their own. Lots of places here to camp, but like I say, it's frowned upon by the local rangers if people camp here, but obviously they have done. Some might wonder why I actually take Gandalf with me. It's not just for looks. Well, you'll notice by the way that I've put some paracord on there, and I try and finish that off today by putting a little bit of bark around the tops and bottoms of each section of paracord, and that'll get a little bit more grip when I'm actually on something like this. So this is why I have it. I call it my third leg. Okay, so I like that. I put Gandalf forward and it supports me as I come down the hill. Just to be careful, especially when you've got a bag on your back. You've got to be careful, because once you start falling one of these on, you ain't going to stop quick. Right, where we are now is a flat area. You can see these pieces of stone have been cut out for grinding wheels, and they were used for grinding flour, wheat, barley, such like, many years ago. There's a beautiful big one over here, and I'm going to take you to see. Now these can be used if you're camping next to them for preparing food and putting things on and using as a table What a wonderful idea. And just where we are now is a lot of deadfall, but it's fairly old. I'm quite sure I'd find some new stuff. But it's not a bad idea for a campsite. But I'm still looking, because in honesty, I'm still a little bit close to where people are going to be walking. Now look at this for a wheel. Let's get you in a bit closer. We'll do that. If you look here, you see in the end of Gandalf, got a crystal which I've put in there. Right, on this stone you can see all these little indentations where it's been worked to flatten it off. Very clever men. And then what they do is they burrow down into the middle and they start shaping the edge to make it round. And I don't know how they get them from here to where they were going, but I expect they do something like rollers, because this area is quite flat. They probably just roll this out on some kind of rolling mechanism. From here it drops down again into another gully, but that's got a footpath in it, so it's obviously on that area you're going to get people. But there's another area over there which I'm interested in. You can see all these rock faces have been worked. You can see over there, if you can see it, you can see where a big lump of rock has been worked out of that rock face. Okay, what they do is they put chocks in and then they whack the chocks, and eventually to break the rock, and there were people who were paid to know how to do that. Look at this, this amazing place. Okay, I've just been over that edge and I found a few interesting places. What I like to do is to have the fireplace embedded into something. If you watched my video on my Ian's vlog pre-2017 where I slept underneath the rock, I tend to like to have my fires, unless I'm in a woodland, hidden, so to speak. So all people are going to see is smoke, and they won't see that because I won't have a fire till after dark. So basically two reasons. First of all, I like it enclosed so I can control it better. Less chance that it's spreading this time of year. Not much chance of that, like, because everything's wet. And the other reason is just so people can't see it. It doesn't become an eyesore. So at night time all they're going to see is the smoke. Anybody in a low-lying village, if you've got a fire on a hillside, is going to see your fire, and you don't want that. So somewhere enclosed, preferably. See how we can do. If not, I'll build something to enclose it. Right. So I think I found a place right down in distance to the footpath. It's a fair way away, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to build a wall, a wood wall here, straight up in front of me where I am now, using this tree as one of my posts. I have my sleeping bed across there, and that little encasement there would be where the fire is going to go. Alright, obviously it can be built on. I think this is where we're going to be. It's even got shelving areas and such like. So all this needs to be cleared out. I need to build this wall, and then I need to think about getting the ground sheet down and my bivvy bag in. Now I'm not going to bother with a tarp to start with, simply because I love this wall here, and I could even work on that to build some kind of roof. But it might not rain, so if it's not going to rain, I'm not going to bother with a tarp. I've got a hook bivvy, so it's no issue. Okay guys, I'm hoping you can see I've got my neck knife on, and I've also got my striker steel, which I got from MP Custom Blades and Bushcraft. Let's put it straight down there now. Right then, what I want to show you is here. I keep this on the back of my Bergen until I get to where I'm going. Okay, so what I'll do is clip it, and I'll take that off. He says I'll have to take a bit of time to get that off. What I want to do is put that on my belt now, because that's got my first aid kit. It's got a form of fire creation. It's got all sorts of different things. I'll show you what's in it in a second. That'll go on my belt, so if I do walk too far away from everything at night and I can't find my way back, I've still got some stuff that I can use. I'll show you that in a second. Military style bag, okay, clips on, molly straps, open. I've got a bit of paracord on there. Okay, first of all, in top, steri tabs in case I need them. First aid kit, everything I need for myself. It's got this, which is like an emergency light flare, which goes out of a light. Okay, or it goes like that, or it goes like that. And I can assure you that's very bright at night. Okay, spare torch in the bottom. They're coming out now. That's my gloves. Okay, a lighter, and a water purifier, alright, and survival straw. So I've got lots of ways of making fire, and I've also got my fire steel here. Okay, I've got my striker around my neck, and I've got another knife, so I'm good to go. Okay, so I'll show you that. Oh, and also the proverbial safety pins. The axe I've just got from Barry Barton, beautiful thing, hickory handle. Okay, lovely, lovely. It's a splitting axe, not a felling axe. It's a splitting axe. I'm going to go off now and get some wood. And that's the, that just hangs outside of my Bergen, and there my gloves are. Okay, so there's the framework. You see that? This doesn't need to be brilliant wood, a lot of this is rotten. But all it's doing is breaking up the shape, and it's building an infrastructure. And what I'm doing now is I'm going to put sticks through it to build it up even more. And I collect loads and loads of bracken and pack it full of bracken. And all it's going to do is stop anybody from down there, seeing what's going on up here. That is going to be my entrance up there. I'm actually thinking now about jamming some chocks up there and down here, putting my tarp out in some way, some fashion, just in case weather turns in advance, and that'll help all the heating later on. I wasn't going to do, but I might as well, as I'm having a fire, and the fire's over there, so you ever nosy. You see there, I've built that area up, started to build all the little twigs and stuff I'm snapping off, it's going down there. You can see also I've started building a stick wall, alright, sorry, stick roof framework. I'm coming here, this floor's getting a little bit messy, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get loads of bracken and put it up floor with leaves, and then put my tarp down on top, and my ground sheet. There's the fireplace, nice and sturdy, and there's an hole up there with a chimney, and it'll come out here as a chimney. Now the sticks are going to come from there across, and from there they're going to come across into that hole there, not the whole one, so I've got some roof, and then the tarp will go on top, and then I'll camouflage the tarp. So there we go. That's so far quite a bit of work to do yet, but you can see how we've taken environment, utilising environment as much as possible in order to be able to create a fireplace, a sleeping area, a false wall which protects me from everything, and at night time or this afternoon, once I've done this, I can come and sit out on here and enjoy this view. Okay, so it's got to this point now, you can see the roof is starting to take shape. It's starting to rain a little bit now, and I don't want everything to get, because if it's like light rain, without you realise it because you're working and you're going fetching and carrying and climbing about, you forget that it's actually raining. Next thing you know, you come back, your Bergen's wet through. For example, this is my hoop bivvy. I don't think I'll be putting the hoop up, but I'll certainly be laid on it. And I don't want my stuff getting wet through, even though I've got a dry sack inside there. So we'll have a quick look at what's actually in the box, so to speak. Okay, so we've got the hoop bivvy. I can come off straight away. Normally I'd do it to my shelter and then put my stuff in my shelter, but as we're getting a bit of rain, I'll show you my tripod setup eventually, actually, because I quite like it. Put that up a little bit. That's it, I'll do, mate. This is the British Army Ripstop Bergen liner. Okay, so I've got gloves and a hat, spare water. I also take that water with me. As I said, sometimes I can't get water and I won't be tied to water, so to speak. That's my charger for my technical stuff. Again, more water. And I've got the steel stainless water carrier with the steel chain and my British Army mug. Then we got the ground sheet, basher, oh no, yeah, basher, I think. Cooker in case I need it, which I don't think I'm gonna. And that's all I'm gonna get out for now, because the rest of it's sort of closed. And I've got my Stanley cooking mug, and obviously I've got stuff in. I knew that would happen. I'll show you my little tripod in a bit. It normally works, it's because I'm doing it on a rock. So yeah, I've got my basher out, and I've got the bits that I need out now to be able to cover that up and get this inside. So I'll speak to you in a minute. I hope you didn't feel like you were falling over then, that was quite funny. See you in a minute, bye for now. Update you guys. I've covered the entire ground with bracken to get me off at mud or whatever it were, like muck. I'm putting the ground sheet down. Now I put my tarp on, but I remembered that the fire's at this end, so I'm going to have to move my tarp over that way to allow for the fire, the heat to come up, else it's just going to melt my tarp. So it's basically, yeah, I've got to undo it all and move it around. I'm in no rush, it's no big deal. We make these little mistakes every now and again. If I weren't having a fire, or if I had the fire at this end, it would have been spot on, but that's just the perfect place for fire, so it just means removing a tarp. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Right guys, so there you go. I've got that on. I've thrown some bits of rubbish on there just to break the shape up. That's where the fire's going. You can see the shape of the fire hole now. I've made a small slab to put my stuff on. There's my sleeping mat and all my stuff down there in the bottom. And that's it really. You'll see that the wind and the rain is actually coming in from that direction. So that wall I've built there is sort of keeping the breeze off. And I'm good to go. So I'm going to go and get some bits of wood now. So it's starting to get slightly darker, but the main issue at the minute is making sure I get some wood and tinder in there before it gets too wet. Alright guys, so I'll see you there in a bit. Okay, I'll just quickly show you the tripod which I'm using instead of carrying the full-size tripod. It's that. It's basically the selfie stick I use, that heavy duty selfie stick, with this little fold away mini tripod, which just fastened onto the bottom, and that saves me having to carry a big tripod because I can just stick that in top of my bag, fasten it onto there, and it just stands up wherever I want it to. If it's windy weather, I just help it so it'll lean against a tree. Hey guys, I've just put this little waterproof top on. The rain's getting heavier now. I think I'm in for a bit of a rainy night, which is no big deal. If you look up there, that's where this side of the shelter is. Can you see it? And look at this lovely... in there smashing. There's loads of these around. This is where I am. Lovely place. There's lots of mushrooms and not much fungi, not so much mushrooms. The wood which is on the ground, most of this wood's rotten. Even if, look, look at that, it's all up to that. Everything's rotten here. I thought I was going to be finding it easy. Look at this. I found it up anyway. I thought I'd find it easy to find wood, but I'm not, because everything is totally rotten. So these lovely fungus. Alright guys, I'm coming here for a crash out and a lay down for half an hour. Oh, very, very relaxing. With that side open, it makes you feel as if you're still in contact with nature. I don't like to disconnect myself. A lot of people know that I use just a wedge basher. Saves me having to use a tent. Okay, now that I'm crashing out, I want to do a couple of call outs probably. Steve Butler is a guy who's watched a few of my videos. I've watched some of his videos. I advise go and have a look at his stuff. He's a gentleman, a nice guy. He basically goes out wild camping using tents. He's just started using a bivvy bag. You can see I've got my bivvy bag sorted out now. That's basically insulate. So he goes out using his tarp and his bottle tarp. I ain't seen him use it yet, but he's got a bivvy bag and he uses tents and stuff, and he wanders out onto hills and he has himself a good time, and that's what it's all about. So I advise go and have a look. Steve Butler, nice bloke. Obviously MP Custom Blades and Bushcraft, who make my knives. Go and have a look at Mike Bright on Cornish Knives and Camping. As far as I know, remember, sorry Mike. Cornish Knives and Camping, and that's all I can think of at the minute that I want to mention. Other guys I've mentioned before. I don't want to keep sort of being repetitive and going over and over the same names, but that's a new guy to look at, Steve Butler. So there you are, Steve. So I gave a little thumbs up. Right, as you can see, I've just crashed out now. I've got a drip, I've got a game and all. I've got to find out where the drip is, remove the stick and replace the stick. Now people might say there's no need to have this stick roof. Well there is, there's some small trees outside and I've seen that the wind's blown a couple other way. Although most of them have gone sort of with wind. So if the tree comes down, I've got these branches above me to give me a little bit more leeway. The only problem with having branches coming underneath your tarp is that sometimes they can wick the water in. You end up with these little taps dripping all over you. But it don't bother me, like, everything here is waterproof. If you look over there, I think you can see, maybe you can't, maybe you can't. Over there, this rock here is wet and water's bouncing into here, so I want to get that sorted in a bit. But it's trial and error. I weren't to know what was going to happen until it started raining, and that's when you start mending your roof, isn't it? So, oh well, there you go, Steve Butler, I'll give you a shout out, okay. It took some time, but at least I got some ashes underneath there, and I put some really small bits of twig in there, and finally got it going. The fire steel I've used is not the one off my knife. I want to keep that nice and fresh. It's the one, where is it? Let's see. It's the one I've got off Barry Barton, and it's inside a shell case. Never let me down, to be honest. Top guy, same guy I've just got this axe off. In a bit I'll get it all dried off and cleaned. They put a nice edge on that for me earlier. I swapped that for a Parabergen. And I'll be happy with that. Once that's been sanded back, that'll be cracking. You can feel that heat coming in. Smoke's going straight out there. It's not affecting tarp. Smoke's going out of the place. It's going to warm this place up. It's amazing the difference it makes to get a fire going. You can see it's surrounded by stones. It's not near the wall, so it's not going to mark that wall. Okay. Although there's been a fire here before. You can see where rocks cracked. And it's all black up there, but it's not something I personally do. So it's all rock underneath there, and there's rock all the way around. And tomorrow I'll take the ash, I'll douse it totally, and then I'll bury the ash so it'll be totally gone. And these stones and everything here will be scattered. You won't even know that I've been here. Earlier on I was wishing I'd brought some firelighters or something, because it just will having none of it. And this bracken, you see, it's just wet. Everything's wet through. But if you start with your really small sticks, I wanted to do the usual thing and show you me making the fire, but it would just taking too long and the battery would have gone. So that's what I've used. That's the striker I got off bike, and that's the fire steel. It says, just put it down. Oh, look it, I've got it on my neck. And that's the fire steel. Really good, watch. Pretty impressive, yeah? That's a rate striker and a rate fire steel. I'm up with that. Got my own firework display. We might do that later on. We'll have my own firework display if you want it. And that's why I managed to get a fire going, because I've got a good kit. That fire was a nightmare to get going. First of all, obviously I'm not going to have the fire under my tarp. So the area there has rain coming in on it, so I was trying to get a fire going while it was being rained on. All the wood is absolutely totally wet through. I'm down in there, I don't know if you can see, this camera's not brilliant in night time, but a little slab down there, so I'm fine in there, no problem at all. It's now, the time is now, it's 5:15, so you can tell seasons are changing. Let's take a wander up here, see if I can get over this tree stump. Take you for a look round off the top of here. There's hardly any smoke coming off that fire, and it's getting foggy anyway, so nobody's going to see it. So normally from here you can see all the way down Oak Valley, but today we can't, simply because it's so foggy, misty. We've had rain, I'm expecting more rain. Careful on here because it's quite a slippy rock. And that's looking down on my boudoir from the rock above. You can see I've just cast bits of branches and stuff to break the shape up. There's a bit of what is it, smoke that's coming up there. Okay guys, so that's where I am. I've got a fire burning up there. You can't see anything. I'll tell you exactly where I am. Just there. And I can't see out. Yeah, can't see anything. My fire's going up there. We're on to Olympus Tough now because the other camera's not brilliant on at night time. And it's starting to get dark now. It's just the time of year. But look at this, how awesome is this? I think I've just passed a set, and I'm not going to say what kind of set it is in case people go hunting for things, but I wonder if they'll visit me tonight. That'd be quite nice. Right, what's this up here? This is the quarry I was on about not so long back. I was stood at the top of. Some kind of, oh, it's a stone building here. This is interesting. I'd never camp here because it's too close to the path, but it's like a tree's gone straight through it and all. Yeah, look, that's interesting. So you've got your wall edge, comes round, that would have been your door. A small stone building, obviously for quarry. And I was stood up there, and I'm camping just there, round that corner. Okay guys, so there you go. It's just sort of smouldering. It's got this to go. I've got all that wood there at the back, which is all, you can see it's smoking. It's drying out. Everything's absolutely wet through. So what I'm going to do, if you look there, you can see the smoke going straight up the chimney. How cool is that? And if you turn around here, you can see from the floor everything is wet through. It's absolutely sodden. It's banged it down. There's nothing I can do about it. It's a bit of wood there that I'm using later. Here I've got all my bits and bobs, and behind me is my rucksack and everything. Okay, so that's picking up now. Later on I shall show you my what is it? Emergency light. Alright guys, yep, fire's picked up now, time to relax. Coffee time guys. So I've put this rock here for that rock so that I can work off it. But what I do here is I'll take the entire top off this bottle. And I'll leave it close to fire, and that'll start it getting warm. Right, and that's my coffee, and that's my sugar. I don't want to lose that. Okay guys, I'm hoping you can see me. The flip screen on my camera's died. They do. Be aware of that. If you're going to Olympus Tough, you're liable to have problems with flip screen. Alright, this coffee is gorgeous. I brought myself some milk that will all become apparent later when I come to have this dinner. This fire in corner is absolutely toasty. It's lovely. See the indentation with rocks all around inside, and I've built up an ash base. It took me ages to build this ash base up, and then I've put the larger, smaller to larger. Now I've got some lovely big pieces of wood on there, which are just toasting away, cooking away, and then eventually I'll go, I'll get some of this, and I'll go and get some more eventually. Anyway, sidetrack. I'm going to turn this torch off, and I'm going to show you what this can do. Some people have seen it. So that's your torch. Okay, so you get into trouble, you break your leg, blah blah, you snap your spine, whatever it is. That's your torch that you've got on this thing, alright? I can turn the torch off. Oops, wait a minute, I've spoiled my game. Right, turn the torch off, and then you can put that on. So you can either have your own disco in your bivvy, in your basher, which I think I might do later. I'll just sing to myself. Alright. Or you put that on, alright. You can have that. I've got a carabiner there on, so I can hang that at the back of my rucksack if I'm in trouble, yeah. Which one is it? Oh, blimey, here we go. Or you can just have it like that, alright. So that'd be great as a warning light if you're walking down road, wouldn't it? You think? And then if you need to see where you're going, bang. And that, believe me, that's bright. That's really bright. It's even brighter than Mike Brighter. You like that, Mike? Right, and it works the torch. There you go. But it's also, it'd be great for a beacon. Like for example, if you had the torch on, yeah, and then you had that going, in case you had to be picked up by an helicopter. So it's like, I'm after one of those emergency button things, which basically if you get into trouble, you flip out the aerial and push a button and it brings emergency services to you. I'm after one of them. So that's that. Turn that off, and let me see where my torch is. It's so there you go, that's what that is. Can't find my big torch. Oh no, I can. I found it in the lid of my rucksack, but it's too bright for in here. It's ridiculously bright. Right guys, I knew these sticks, these branches are coming handy. I could put my light in it so you can see me. I must look horrible. You know, it light hits you in a really weird, bizarre way, and it makes it look like some kind of alien or a monster at woods. Anyway, probably am. Prepper Nomad. He does some great videos of group camps and such like. He's got his landy that he goes out with and camps around, and he is now doing a vlog. So look for Prepper Nomad on YouTube. Got to call out to you, mate, because I love his videos. I don't always comment, to be honest. Rain started again. I don't always comment, but I'm watching them and I'm liking them. And he's basically in his van and he's driving, I think he's at work, and he's just driving around and just coming out with things. He's answering questions and he's helping people out. Really, really nice bloke. And I advise anybody to go and see him. Go on YouTube, Prepper Nomad, and Andy Ragg. I went with Andy Ragg and his son. And the lovely people, and we went to the Colwalk Hill. If you watched that video, he's still coming out with videos. I ain't got a great amount, but I enjoy watching his videos, short and sweet, gets to the point, and I love watching his videos. They're really nice people. So Prepper Nomad and Andy Ragg, if you want to go out and watch some of those videos, and obviously Steve Butler I mentioned earlier, I'm only going to put them in for now. I think I mentioned what I call it, MP Custom Blades and Bushcraft anyway, because they did my knife. And if you want to see about my knives, go on there. Can I call out also to Barry Barton? Thank you very much, mate, for the gear that you've been getting me. I do appreciate it. It's difficult to find good gear which is not overly expensive, and I've just got a beautiful axe. I ain't had a chance to use it properly because basically all wood around here is rotten and wet, and I can basically just snap it. So there's going to come a time when I get to use it. It's a really nice axe. I'll probably do a bit of a review of it at some point, but it's a splitting axe. It's not a felling axe, and it's not an axe for you know, making things with. It's a proper splitting axe for splitting wood at campsites, because I've had issues with that. So I've got that now, and I get it sanded down and looking nice. So call out to them guys. Thank you very much for doing what you're doing. You're all brilliant. You're all out there and you're all proactive. Thank you very much. See you in a bit, guys. Okay, so off we go. We're going looking for wood in the dark. Look at this little fungus up here. Look at this. These are awesome. You see them? Might be a temperature difference. There you go. Oh, they're lovely. I'll be looking them up in my book. Oh, another one up here. Right, there's some deadfall up here. Everything's on the hill, you see how that just broke apart. It just, watch, it's all rotten. See, get that. I love fungus and things. What we got up here? Dear. Everything's done on an hill here. Everything's been done on a hill. Right. Oh, got it up with Gandalf a minute. Oh, that's alright. I'll go down. Okay, that'll burn. That's going down. Oh. Dandy good, yeah. It's not brilliant, but it's better than not having any wood. And this will have to be dried out for a good while, because everything here is absolutely and dreadfully wet. What's that like? Yep, that's rotten. Diddly diddly dee. Yeah, it's all rotten. Everything's rotten. Ooh, that'll come to get me. So I'm not wanting to burn rubbish wood, if you get me. Got no in it, got no energy left. Nature takes all its energy back. It's a sharp axe is this. There's that go in it. Have a look. Yeah, there's a bit in that. I'll chop that up. That'll do it for now. It's just two branches. No, it hasn't. It just fell apart. This is the problem here, you see. Lots of trees. What's this? I know what's going to happen here. I know what's going to happen. Oh no, it's alright. It's dead. Dead, so I think it's going to come with me. I'll fell that. That'll come with me. Okay, so we're processing this up. Just had that bit off. It's a bit of rotten birch. When you're working with an axe, most of you are going to know, I'm going to be telling people how to suck fish. Right. About there, that's the kind of sizes I'm wanting for my fire. And you always stand with your leaf foot back, okay? So if I swing and miss, I ain't going to hit my leg, okay? At least that's how I do it anyway. I don't want to be laid out here with tendons and muscle and smashed bone, because this is a good axe, okay? And at the minute it's my friend. And it could turn very ugly very fast, so always good. Be careful. Right, I've been wanting a bit of fun, so I've got this bit of wood. You see, I got this bit, it's not quite as rotten. This is sort of middle of that piece of wood I just got. All that stuff is over there, drying next to the fire, it's all wet through. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim all this back and see if I can make some tighten it with my new knife. Yeah, so there we go. It's got to take a lot of work, like, but it's fun. I'm going to use my axe just to show you, if I can show you. It'll be awkward trying to set this up. I don't know. Basically, I get my axe. And trim it up the best that I can. You can see a lot of it's rotten, but I'll just work with it. Keep it tidy. And hope that some of this will dry out so I can make some weed in a bit. But that's the beauty of the splitting axe, you see. That's the way that it's designed. It's like a wedge, and it's sharp. This is really sharp, and it works as a wedge, and it's split that down lovely. Now that bit's gone all right, okay. It's the next bit which is awkward. It's possible spoon there, you know what I mean, and a lawnmower there, something like that. A laptop. Have to see what happens. I don't know. Let's see how we go. I'm renowned. You are warned. I am renowned to being absolutely crap at breaking things out of wood. I cannot make out of wood, alright? So this is going to be fun. Let's see if the knife can make something for me, shall we? I hope it's programmed it well. We'll see. See you in a bit. Right guys, I'm hoping you can see me. Amazing bit of kit. It's just, in honesty, it's too easy to use. And I know that you're supposed to lock your arm in and pull the wood. Look! How easy is that? I'm making a spoon, by the way. Can you tell it's a spoon yet? It's going to be a spoon, alright? That's just spoon end. So I'm going to mark that off in a bit with a bit of charcoal or something. Alright, then I'm going to trim it round. And then I'm going to trim the handle down to the size I want. There's two ways I can do that. I can just do it with a knife, trim it that, or I can get me saw and just cut it into shape. But I tell you what, look at that for making tinder for a fire. It's too easy. And I tell you what, people, if I can do that, anybody can. That's amazing. And all I'm doing is again these little bits of wood, and I'm making a bundle with bark. Alright, and that's going to be a little fire kit, because that's going to make a look, that'll be brilliant towards, look at these beauties. So smooth, so sharp, that knife. That's the bit off end. I can go on there. So that's going to be a nice little tinder bundle. I can put in a little bag and keep that for future reference if I can't find any tinder. Right guys, I don't know if you can see this, but I got myself a spoon, but I mean, it wants sanding. I mean, I could get, you can sand it if you get some really fine sand, this stuff here, you know, like sandstone, and grate it off, and and grate it down so it's really fine, and then put it inside a cloth. You can actually sand it out here. But I'm amazed at what I've come up with. Actually, this knife fits quite. I'm actually amazed. See if we can. Let's have a quick look. What do you think? It's not brilliant to be straight, isn't it? It's got right end on it, but you're not going to pick much up because it ain't got any hollow in it. So that's the bit that I'm on to next. And it's perfect size. I mean, the only reason I take a titanium spoon is because I think it was because it's light. I've never used the fork. It's a spork. I've never used the fork bit, and I like this bit here. I like the shape of that. Yeah. I think it's symmetrical in a fashion. I've got that pretty straight, haven't I? Oh, I think I might have hit another gear here. This knife, I get on with it. I really get on with it. I was so scared with the other one because it's so sharp. But this one's just as sharp, but for some reason I feel a little bit more at home with it. So what I'm going to do, this is what you do. You get a piece of coke, like a coal or ash, and you put it in there and you let it burn. And over a period of time it burns an hole into it, and then you just scrape out with a piece of stone the hollow. So that's what we're going to do next. This is when I set my spoon on fire. Anyway, see you in a bit guys. I like that. It's nice, isn't it? Nice little, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm hoping you can see what's happening here, watch. The ember is glowing, okay, and it's burning into the spoon. It's going to take a while, but I get there. Right guys, I've done with this for now. That is the best spoon I have personally ever made, and I made it with my new knife. It's got some little bits of rough edges, I can sort them out in a bit, but what do you think? You can see it's got, it's like a shovel more than all, but it's got the right shape, hasn't it? And it's a spoon that I can use, and it's very, very lightweight, ergonomic. I'll get a bit of oil on that, and I'm happy with that. I like that. It's got a very nice little handle, and I can make a cup of coffee with that. Cock on, in that fire, lovely. Ain't that cock on smashing? And I've got a little spoon. I'm absolutely made up. So what I'll do when I get back, I'll sandpaper it up, and I'll put a little bit of stuff on it just to protect it. And that will be my bushcraft spoon. Right guys, you can see that I've got my kitchen set out. Cooking pot, water's on the go now. Just stick the lid on. Homemade lid. Right, I've worked out that that's going to be for my new spoon. It's going to be for coffees, and the old spoon is going to be for food. Okay, I've got my little sachets all blotched around. The first thing we're going to have tonight is going to be different. I'm having oats, and that might sound a bit bizarre, but to me it's not. What's this? Oh, that's my coffee. Okay, so that's already there. So, and the oats I'm going to be using are these Oats So Simple, and they're really, really nice. So I'm getting them down, and I've got my sugar to go in with that, and I've got milk, everybody. My milk is just here. I'm not having a great deal, because for afters I've got custard with biscuits. I've always liked custard and biscuits. Maybe that's a bit weird, but it works for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some water in here. Like that. That's sort of filled. I've got plenty of water. I've got another nearly 2 litres. And then I get my milk in. That'll do. I've still got enough milk there for my custard. Because I'll obviously be adding a bit of water to my custard as well. And my sugar will be going in there. You can see how my kitchen works. It's all set out, and I've got my little bags for my food. Now I'm going to start getting that warmed up a bit. I've got my fire set up so that it's got 2 sticks together, and that can go just there, and that's not going to get too hot. So I've got my two separate spoons. I'm really chuffed with that spoon. I think it's a bit pregnant on one side. I'm going to take a little bit off there, but I'm trying to get my hands on it to get a bit of oils like my skin into it, so it protects it a little bit. But I'll get it sorted when I get home anyway. But I'm going to take that little bit of extra off there to stop that bulging out at that end. Okay, so oats have gone in, and the sugar's gone in, and now I'm putting some sultanas in. I like that with my oats. And then I'm going to cook that on the hottest part of the fire. So I've already started cooking. That's good stuff. I don't want to burn. The problem with these tall Stanley mugs is that they tend to burn at bottom. I don't want to cook it too fast though. So I'll leave it there, keep taking it back off and checking it. Okay, so that's done. I've got my coffee, and I've got my oats all steaming. Sugar and milk and sultanas. Perfect consistency. Sorted. I'll just let that thicken up now. I've taken the extra bit off my spoon, you can see, and it's worked a treat. 2 spoons of that makes a nice big mug of that. Awesome stuff. I'm really pleased with that. I've made a spoon, man. It works. Oh, anyway, I'll stop being pathetic. Put that there. See you in a bit, guys. I'm going to munch down that. Okay, for those who don't quite get how it works, so I'm now inside. My bivy bag's got bang loads of room. I can use this with or without the single pole. I can just lay it down on the floor and use it as a single bivy bag. I've got my sleeping bag inside, On the outside of my sleeping bag I've got a thermal blanket. Well, it's a thermal liner, but I put it on the outside of my sleeping bag. And underneath this I've got my Thermarest and one of those reflective sheets. So I'm perfectly toasty even though I'm on the ground. And underneath that obviously I've got my ground sheet. Let's have a quick look round. Over here is all my requirements next to my head. And my knife is right next to me also. I don't sort of go to sleep without my knife next to me. Over there is the fire and my little kitchen that I've built up. And now basically I'm going to go to sleep. And it's all good, and this is what I like. So ready, I'll get the light set back up again. That's it. So this is what I like. Oh, another thing is up in the ceiling, because of all these branches inside, I can hang all my stuff, like inside of my gaiters have got a bit damp through sweat, not through water. And then I've got little towels and stuff down there which are drying next to the fire as well. So basically you can utilise all these branches which are inside to your own advantage. Again, let me put that back up there. Wait a second. I'll be back with it. That's it. So that's how it works, and it's gone. It's about 10:30 now, so I'm going to try and get my head down and get a bit of sleep. It means I can get up early in the morning as it starts getting light, and I can get myself packed down. I can turn this campsite into what it was before I came, so nobody even knows that I was here. That's including fire and everything. Alright guys, everybody knows I don't leave litter, I don't leave anything. I've really enjoyed today. I've done a few shout outs, we've done the walk over. It's a place I've wanted to camp for ages. Shame about the view looking down Hope Valley. It was just like a misty, foggy day, so we couldn't really see anything. The fire now isn't giving any smoke off, so that's good. But we're getting a little bit of smoke off earlier, which I don't like, because I don't like people knowing that I'm there. But because it was foggy and misty, you couldn't see the smoke. I couldn't see it from about 100 feet away. You couldn't see it. That's my candle lantern. 9-hour candle in there. So it's been good, and I hope you enjoyed it. It's not finished yet. We've still got, something could happen during night, and we'll see what happens that way back to the car. But yeah, for now, a very good night to everyone, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye for now. A very good morning to you all. It is now 7:15. I've slept straight through. I went to sleep about 11:15 last night, and I slept straight through. Fresh air does it to me every time, and the Quaker Oats helps it along. Well, I'll tell you what, I've really enjoyed it. It's been really good. We had more rain last night, but nothing came in. I've been toasty warm. This is Van Gogh 400 sleeping bag. Can't remember what name it is. It's there, I think. Oh, it's Latitude. Van Gogh Latitude 400, belting piece of kit. I leave my bouncing bomb at home because basically for the weight and for what I get out in it, this does job. The idea behind it is that the bouncing bomb's got quite a bit of room in there for bits of kit that you might have when you're in forces, but that leaves air around you which can cool down. This Latitude is a mummy bag, so it's closer to you, so it keeps the heat closer to your body. And I can assure you I was toasty warm all last night, and the temperature dropped right down at one point. I don't know what temperature it works. I didn't bring my thermometer, but I know it got quite cold because I could feel it on my face. But all I do is I pull this over my head and it keeps me lovely and warm. But this system that I've talked about with the camera is brilliant, and that works a storm. It's excellent. So I don't have to carry my big tripod now. I love my spoon that I made yesterday. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get myself a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to start packing all my gear into my rucksack best that I can, and then I'm going to take this shelter down put the tarp in the top of it. I keep my tarp inside a dry sack, and that's not because to keep it safe or anything. That's basically because once I've done with it, if it's rained, even though you shake it off, you don't get it totally dry. So you put it inside a dry sack and you just bang it in your rucksack, you don't get your other gear wet. So this wall has worked brilliantly. All it's done that is stop people seeing my shape, because obviously in here I've got my candle lantern and such like. If I didn't have that there, if I just had sticks, then people are going to see me moving around inside and they're going to see the light. But with this, it breaks up the shapes so that people can't see you from down in valley and what have you, and fire and stuff. So because I went down there last night when it was pitch black and I had the fire burning, I couldn't see anything. Yeah, so I'm going to get stripped down, and then what we're going to do is go from here over to the Southern Surprise, or Southern Surprise View. I always call it Southern Surprise, it's Surprise View. And then we're going to take a look from there down the valley, and I'll show you the views that I've got. Shame last night that it was so cloudy and misty, not cloudy but misty and foggy, as I could have shown you last night. Right guys, I've got to this point now, I'm packed up totally, everything's been shaken off. All this roof's now been removed. Okay. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of that wall, get rid of all that bracken there. It's going to be cast all over here. You can see the fire, and it gets rid of some of them stones. There'll be no sign that there's been a fire there about the time I've done. And some of them branches are going to be left in here as they were before. Remember, it was a little bit of a sort of tumble down in there. But I'm going to try and put branches up against that wall, because with it being an overhang, okay, it overhangs. It's going to create an environment for small rodents, insects and stuff like that to be able to live and get shelter in. So that's what I'm going to do. But all that bracken will be roughed up, cast around, and these rocks will be gone, and you won't be able to tell there's a fire. So I'll show you that. So there you go. Bracken and branches, fireplace removed, one that over here. Basically, you'd be hard pushed to know that I ever camped there. That's how it should be. Amazing views. I'm going to take a walk, an even better one. See you in a bit. Okay, it's a bit blustery up here because we're on top of the hill, but that Southern Surprise. Sit down, entire valley, all the way down Oak Valley. Down the Tweedale, down the corner there is Stanley Edge, behind you, Burbage. If you go on to my other site, which is Ian's Vlog pre-2017, there's a one where I camped down at the bottom of here, not far from where I've just been. I went down there with Gavin Addison, we bivvied down there, he had a small tent. Had some good times up here. I've been branching out into other locations. Okay, with that I will leave you for this one. These videos are created for maybe people who can't get out on the hill, hence why they're quite long, and people have said that I talk too much. That's simply because I'm trying to make people on the vlog feel as though I'm talking to them, so they're with me, and obviously you would be talking to people if you're camping with them. So just go out, take photos and get a video for a 10-minute video, just won't really cut it, would it? But please remember to like, share and subscribe. Lots and lots more adventures, people. Please subscribe to the channel if you like them. It lets me know I'm doing it right. And if you share it, it lets other people know where I am. Alright guys, see you for now. Goodbye from me and goodbye from Gandalf. See you in a bit. Bye for now.